Hello. Say something funny.
Howdy.
I need this to say we're live. Well, can't get on. How you find us on here? Say words. Look, we're live. You gotta say something.
Hey, everybody. It's
Welcome.
Me.
Hi.
It's me, Thomas.
And Megan.
And Megan.
There we are. That's us. And okay.
Perfect.
Am I doing that right?
Yeah.
Hello. How is everybody? We're at a new time.
It's a new time.
We've moved to prime time.
To 7:30 because tonight is Thomas's Movie Club. It's always been Thomas's Movie Club the whole time. There was never a Megan's Movie Club. Thomas Movie Club. Every Thursday. That's what we've been doing this entire time. Thomas Movie Club. Welcome to Thomas Movie Club again this Thursday, like we've done every Thursday during the lockdown time.
That was a child.
Oh, there's children here
in the yard behind us.
Oh my goodness, that was gonna.
This is the neighborhood.
That was gonna.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Chaotic.
This is Megan's Movie Club.
Thomas's Movie Club. Welcome to the Movie Club by Thomas.
And we're only doing it 7:30 for one day. Then we're going back to our regular time.
It's backwards, I know, but that's how we do it. That's how we do it in Thomas's Movie Club. So, welcome everybody.
It's my movie club. My name's on it.
But it's nope. I beg to differ right here. My name is on it twice. See, Megan's is here, but it's got an X, and then my name is twice. It's appears twice.
Ken says he forgot about the time change, and guess who else forgot about the time change? Who do you think? You.
I did.
He called me at 6:25, and he says, "Are you almost here?"
I was like, "Where are you? It's time for Thomas Movie Club. Better not be late for Thomas Movie Club." We're very timely in the Thomas Movie Club. We run a tight ship.
Anyway, he forgot.
That wasn't gonna fly. So I was like, "Where are you?" And then you were like, "We moved it to 7:30." And I said, "That is very helpful."
Yes. So I had to go out of town today. I went to Houston and came back, and now I'm back. I couldn't make it back by 6:30. I tried, but I just gave us a little extra time, and
it's a little cooler. It's a nice time for this.
It is. We already ate dinner. We're usually scrambling to find dinner.
My tummy is filled with delicious
but I'm
pizza. sleepy,
so I might just fall asleep.
Nah.
But it's okay because I don't have anything to do in this movie club anyway.
No, you're doing all the things. I'm just here for you for the Thomas Movie Club.
Guess why I was in Houston today, Thomas?
You're an Astros fan.
You know I'm not an Astros fan.
You love the Astros.
But you know I'm not.
You wanted to visit their home field.
Even
though there's no baseball, you just wanted to drive by and say, "Hey, Astros, I love you."
They all know that I'm not an Astros fan. You know that I'm not an Astros fan. I don't dislike the Astros, but I'm not an Astros fan. Guess again.
You wanted to the Houston.
Hi, Christina. Two
Texans.
Christinas.
You wanted to drive by the Texans stadium and see.
Oh, wait. John thinks he said, "Did you go to a convention?" No, I didn't. I'll tell you, I've never been to a convention before, and now,
what sort of convention?
Like he means like a fan convention.
Oh,
but I don't think there's any happening right now. I would like to go to one.
Take that back. You have been to the GeekCon.
Oh, right. Yes, I've been actually twice to GeekCon. You're right.
GeekCon twice. It's a great event that we have here, right here in Shreveport, Bossier.
You're right. And we had tickets to go see Star Wars Con celebration. Yeah, but we didn't get to make it. But we'll go next time. Does it happen like the Olympics every 4 years?
No, they announced that this year is actually not happening.
Sure.
So they said
but it usually happens every year?
In 2022. It happens when a movie is being released, or I think every 2 years. But this was going to be a year where there were two in a row. So in any event, Star Wars celebration,
next time.
Star Wars Con.
Come on. You're right. Elizabeth says there's a few conventions going on online. I think San Diego Comic-Con is going to be online, right? It's going to be virtual. Yeah. Anyway, I wasn't at a convention. I wasn't visiting the Astros. Thomas.
The Texans.
I wasn't any of them. I was looking. I had my eye out for Beyonce, but she wasn't there. But I went and picked up my wedding dress.
What? Yeah. You're getting married? To who?
You.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you forget? Yes. You are forgetful. But anyway,
that was today. Well, that's good.
Not the wedding.
I was wondering.
You missed the wedding.
I was wondering what you were gonna wear.
Yeah.
So you got that squared away.
I got it. In January, when I started wedding dress shopping, it sounded like a great idea to go to Houston and spend time with my aunt and cousins and look at all the beautiful dress shops. And we did find a beautiful dress. But when it came time to having to drive back and forth for fittings and I was like,
oh, I know why you visited the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library.
Is that in Houston? I would like to go there. I've never been. I've been to the Clinton Library.
Is that why you went?
No, I told you I went to get my wedding dress.
Right. I forgot. I was still guessing.
No, but I have lots of fabulous family that lives in Houston, and I had intended to spend time with all of them during all of my Houston visits. But now they're over. I've got my wedding dress. It's here. So we're going to get married. How about it? I wasn't there to see your boss. I went to float in a pool shaped like the state of Texas. I'm not picky about pools, so I'll take a pool in any shape. But I didn't go swimming today.
Delicious barbecue?
No, we packed a lunch. We're limiting our contact with others. We don't want to catch anything, really. So, yeah, it was there and back. Anyway, we're here. Thanks for being here with us. We're going to talk about Galaxy Quest. This was Thomas. Thomas has been asking since March when we started this to pick a movie. And
look, I've already let you call my movie club Meghan's Movie Club, even though we all know it's Thomas' Movie Club. I think that in return, at some point, you should let me pick a film.
Right.
It's like,
then he didn't want to pick a comedy. Then he didn't want to pick a comedy. He just wanted to pick his favorite movie. And the point of this series are comedies. And so I said, you have to pick a comedy. So anyway, this is our penultimate episode. Thomas, what do you think penultimate means?
Like a really good one? Like it's the penultimate episode. Like it doesn't get more penultimate than this.
It means something else too.
It means the penultimate.
You want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you what it means?
I know what a pen is, and I know what ultimate is.
Penultimate is the second to last.
Second to last. I was going to say it's second to last episode.
Which means next week will be our last episode.
Like a season finale.
It is our season finale.
Like on The Bachelor.
Yeah. Just like The Bachelor.
Oh, man.
The Bachelor usually ends in a proposal.
Maybe we'll delay the finale like the Walking Dead finale. Like it still hasn't aired. And we'll just say, we're not sure when we're airing it.
No, we're going to have our finale, our season finale next week, next Thursday. But we will be back. Thomas loves this so much that he wants to keep it going. He says we need to up our production value.
Yeah, I think we should get a sponsor.
Well, yeah.
We can recreate this set indoors in a climate-controlled environment. We can go blue screen. Put a blue
I'm
screen
getting the rose, Brian. Duh. Susan, yes. We are going to have our final episode because we are reopening the theater. I still don't have a very hard confirmation. There's so much up in the air. But our target is July 1st. So as soon as we have that confirmed, my sidekick Angie, I have the sidekick Thomas, but I also have my work wife Angie, and she will blast it out to all of our accounts as soon as it's confirmed. But just like that, yeah. But that's the plan. So next week's going to be our last for this season. We will figure out what it's going to look like moving forward, and you'll be the first to know. Okay, so for the penultimate episode, I decided to turn it over to Thomas, even though I still did all the prep work for it. So how does that?
I call it, that's a win-win.
Okay.
That's what I call that.
So we have our first segment called, what's our first segment called? Sometimes, do you ever catch Thomas staring at himself on the Facebook Live? Because that's really what he does 75% of the time. Just admiring his face. Okay.
Yeah.
What is our first segment called?
First segment is called TMI. It's when we give too much information about things and people are like, whoa, Thomas and Meghan, TMI. And we're like, what? I thought we were close and we could talk about things.
You're making me rethink, like, having given you any leadership roles.
No, TMI stands for Thomas and Meghan's insight.
Yes. Okay, so I'll start. You chose the film Galaxy Quest as your one and only pick for Meghan's Movie Club.
Yes.
Come to find out, Thomas had never seen Galaxy Quest.
I'd never seen it all the way
So
through.
what made you choose a film that you had never seen before? That's risky. What if there was like...
Well, you wouldn't let me pick a Star Wars.
Correct, not a comedy.
So then I got to thinking, what is in space and is also funny? And this film came to mind. Also, I've been meaning to watch it.
So this gave you a reason to watch it?
I almost went to see a documentary about the making of this film earlier in the year. But
Melissa Meeks on our Facebook event group, which I noticed you didn't manage this week.
No, but I posted
But anyway, she recommends that documentary.
Yeah, Never Give Up, Never Surrender.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it.
The story of Galaxy.
What'd you think of it?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I enjoyed it very much.
I did too. That's all you want to say about it? This is your movie club, and this you enjoyed it, and goodbye.
I enjoyed it very much. I feel like the movie was ahead of its time. I think it was a little ahead of its time as far as offering commentary on geek culture.
Me too. I was going to say the same thing.
But that's what I said, though, while we were watching
Oh, maybe that's where I got the idea for it.
So why would you just copy my words?
I thought I had that original idea today. I wrote it in my notes.
I felt it was a bit ahead of its time as far as offering commentary on geek culture and the importance of these stories and characters and that we're presented with in pop culture
and conventions. Like I know there were always conventions,
right?
But now
clearly
it's huge.
Comic-Con in the age of the comic book movie, has exploded in popularity. I would say probably around the turn of the millennium. I mean, they were always popular.
Right.
I mean,
so it's right on the cusp. Would you say the Galaxy Quest ushered that era in?
Maybe a little, maybe a bit, but no, I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed that commentary, and it touched upon fandom and what that means, and the relationships that fans have with the actors.
Right. Let's pause. You happen to be a fan of a few different.
Sure.
You're a member of a few different fandoms.
Yes.
Like what?
The Wars in the Stars.
That's the number one. Oh, Okay, here is someone who has never seen Star Wars.
Right.
And here is the biggest fan in the world.
Yeah.
Where are you on that spectrum?
I think I'm probably closer to the biggest fan in the world.
Like how close?
I mean,
are you the number one?
Can you become more of a fan? I mean, as far as tier-wise, there's room for a lot of people. I don't know that I think there are people that
I think you're one notch down from the biggest fan in the world. If they're levels, I think you're like second to biggest fan in the world.
Who is that? What is his name?
There's people that have podcasts. Remember?
Yeah, but I mean that just means that they've taken the time.
They figured out how to monetize it.
Yeah, but no, I'm a big fan of the Star Wars. I'm a big fan of a number of different intellectual properties.
Yeah, like what else? You like Marvel.
I like Marvel, but I grew up more of a DC person, right?
You like Star Trek, which I'm newly learning that you like Star Trek.
I do.
We have so much to learn about each other.
We really
Star
do.
Trek is one of them.
It's a good thing that we've done these videos together. Yeah, I enjoy the Star Trek.
Ken says, "Yo, Thomas is pretty close to the biggest."
Yeah,
fan.
I would say so.
Pretty close.
I would say so.
Let's see. You want to know what I'm a fan of?
Bruce Springsteen, the Beatles, the Chicago Cubs, Louisiana Tech.
Sure.
The Saints.
Yeah. You forgot the big one.
The Robinson Film Center.
The Robinson Film Center. I talked about her. She's from Houston.
Me, Thomas, of Thomas's Movie Club.
Beyonce. He forgot Beyonce. I'm a member of the Beehive.
Beyonce.
Don't say that. The Beehive will come for you.
Oh no.
But yeah, Bruce Springsteen. His fan group is the most laid back. We're not highly organized. But the Beatles are. Beyonce is, and the Cubs and the Saints. There's very well-defined fandoms. Bruce Springsteen fans, they just show up to concerts wearing a red bandana and call it a day. I like that.
I look like Courtney Cox right now.
Yeah. Okay. You've been to some conventions.
Yep.
I've been to just a few.
I'm a veteran.
I wanted to go to the Cubs convention.
Right. So we're going to talk about the convention aspect of the film.
Well, tell me what it's like to go to these conventions and meet these actors from your favorite films. What's it? Is it? I almost like I've told you before. I don't want to meet Beyonce. I don't want to meet Beyonce because I know it's not going to go well. Like, I would rather Beyonce not know who I am than to meet me and find me lacking.
Oh, no one would want. I'd lay awake at night wondering what Beyonce would think of me.
Right. So I'd rather just not know her.
Right.
Than for us to have to risk the chance that we would have a negative interaction.
Right.
I'm happy to just know her from afar.
Right.
So
So your question is...
Yeah. Do you fear that? I mean, are you just happy to meet all of your heroes?
Well, let's give some context to the question. So at the beginning of the film, we find the cast of Galaxy Quest at a fan convention dedicated solely to Galaxy Quest.
Right.
So they're making an appearance. They're there in costume. How does that relate to actual conventions? I'd say pretty close. I don't know of an instance where actors have actually appeared in costume. I think that obviously they had to appear in costume for the purposes of the plot of the film so that they could be beamed aboard a spaceship in costume. Although the aliens seem to have fashioned their own costumes, their own uniforms. But in any event, I think it mirrors it pretty closely. You go and, you know, it's a mixed bag between you have the option to meet these folks at their booth.
You have to pay for it.
You have to pay,
yeah.
right. Carrie Fisher famously called it the celebrity lap dance.
Right.
You pay your money, you get to chit-chat, they'll sign items for you. Sometimes the rules vary according to the celebrity.
Who all of you met? Did you meet Carrie Fisher?
I did not. Sadly, I was going to a convention in New Orleans in the January or February. Unfortunately, she died that December.
Way to bring us down.
Well, you know, I brought up Carrie Fisher because she hilariously described what goes on at these conventions. It's the celebrity lap dance. So the only person...
Did you meet Peter Mayhew?
Well, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Peter Mayhew right here at GeekCon in Shreveport, Louisiana.
And he
was the headliner that year.
And he's famous for...
He played Chewbacca.
Right.
Of course, he's passed away also since. And that was a very interesting encounter with him. He was a very jovial spirit.
You know who else Thomas is a fan of that surprised me when I found this out? Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I enjoyed Kevin Smith.
We have traveled out of state to see Kevin Smith live.
Oh yeah, I've seen Kevin Smith probably 4 or 5 times.
So interesting to me.
I just enjoy hearing him tell stories.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. Yeah, and I became more of a Kevin Smith fan after seeing him live.
Right.
What have you done with me? I've gone to all of these things that you're fans of. What have you come with?
Life. I agreed to marry you.
You agreed to?
We have
I think you asked me.
We have a lifelong convention ahead of us.
Can't wait.
Right. It's
so I'm gonna get
Meghan Con.
I'm gonna get you to a Beyonce concert.
Okay, but in any event, I wanted to tell the story of the one that I paid money to have a photo with. This is the only time I've ever done it, and I don't particularly know why I chose to do it with this particular person, but it happened. It was with Stephen Amell of CW's
The Arrow. Yeah. I only know that because you told me the story many times.
I was a big fan of that show. I followed it. I drifted. I fell off for a season or two. But in any event, in New Orleans, I paid the money to get in line to be whisked away behind the curtain to have a photo with CW's.
How'd it go?
Stephen Amell. It was awkward because you enter the curtained off area. Mm-hmm. He's there. He's so handsome. It's almost like he's existing just off from reality. You're looking at him, and it's like he's on his own frequency because he's so handsome. Maybe it was the handsomeness. Like. Maybe it was because I'm only used to seeing him on television. I may have just said, "Hello, Stephen. It was nice to meet you." And I took my photo, and I was out of there.
That's fine.
You know. So they have so many people that they have to get at these conventions.
It's hard to make an impression if you wanted to become, say, best friends with someone.
Unless you go to a smaller, I would say small. I don't say smaller convention. GeekCon really does provide you with a lot of opportunity to really have extended conversation.
I really liked the is it Supergirl, Superwoman?
Helen Slater?
Yeah, which one was she? Supergirl.
She played Supergirl.
Supergirl. That was really cool.
It was.
Yeah.
I've been to a few of those.
As you can tell, I'm not like super up to date with the geek culture, but I am game. So I feel like I get points for that.
Right.
That I'm game.
So yeah, it's a mix between you can visit with them at their table, have them sign items. They have panel discussions.
I want to talk to you about some comments that we've been getting.
Panel discussions where you can go into an auditorium type environment and hear from them.
We're gonna engage with some of our.
I was there when Chewbacca Mom met Chewbacca for the first time in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, so
convention.
Susan said something that I thought was really interesting. She said it's a lot of scheduling. You gotta wait in line. You got to know where you need to be at what time in order to see the person you're there to see. Angie and Sam are huge Harry Potter fans. I don't know if you know that. Huge. Like you in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Them in Harry Potter. Maybe more. Like they may be more of a Harry Potter fan than you are a Star Wars fan.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, they go to this thing called LeakyCon, which is
for plumbers.
No, it's for Star Wars fans, and they have a blast.
Harry Potter fans.
What did I say?
You said for Star Wars.
No,
fans.
it's for Harry Potter fans. Let's see. LeakyCon, like it's like the Leaky Cauldron. It's like
right.
Let's see. Oh, Jason Mewes is a huge CW DC shows fan. Do you know? Oh, he knows it. He knows it all. John wants to go on the Star Trek cruise. Did you know there was such a thing?
Yes.
Tiana loves MIA, which I also love her, and we brought the MIA documentary. And then let's see. Gosh, Susan and Christina met like a million people. They met Carrie Fisher. They met a ton of Star Wars people. Mark Hamill. They met Mark Hamill. I bet Mark Hamill would be cool to meet. I think he would be fun. Let's see. Jeremy's here.
Hey, Jeremy.
It's your boy Jeremy. Gosh, he wrote a lot of. He sent you a link. We'll watch it later. Okay, back to Galaxy Quest. Mm-hmm. Here's some things that I loved. The aliens.
Yes.
I loved the way they walked.
They were in their human form.
Yeah, in their human form. How they their arms didn't swing naturally. Their arms swung.
I was really impressed with the creature designs and the effects and the practical makeup and the puppeteering and the whatnot.
The director described the aliens as they actually had an alien school where all the different aliens went and they learned how to do all the alien things. And his direction was that don't forget your giant calamari hiding in human shape. So of course you're gonna move awkwardly.
Right.
What's your excuse?
I'm also a giant calamari in human form because I'm Italian.
It reminded me of the Three Amigos, which we talked about a little bit last week, because there's that whole mistaken identity. They're actors who are mistaken for actual heroes, and they find themselves in a pickle. So it's kind of like an update of Three Amigos.
Rise to the challenge.
And they have to rise to the challenge.
And become heroes. Some say that there's a hero in all of us. Do you know who said that?
No. Was it Star Wars?
No, it
Marvel?
wasn't Star Wars.
I don't know.
Aunt May. Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
I believe there's a hero
here's a
in
question.
All of us, Peter.
Here's a question.
Yes.
And you can chime in at home too.
Okay.
So the aliens, they thought that our TV shows, our earthly human TV shows, were historical documents.
Right.
So like Galaxy Quest was one. They talked about Gilligan's Island. Oh, those poor people. So here's my question. What happens when the same actor appears in two different TV shows? Like Gilligan, for instance. Bob Denver. He's also Dobie Gillis. So if they were to watch Gilligan's Island and then watch Dobie Gillis, how would they explain what was happening?
Well, which one did they see first?
We'll say Gilligan's Island.
They'd say something like, Gilligan is so clever that he is able to pretend to be someone else.
But he doesn't understand. They don't understand pretending.
Oh, that's true.
I wonder if they thought that
I think I just spewed ice.
You did?
I apologize.
Yep.
My apologies.
I wonder if they thought that maybe we have identical lookalikes, clones, maybe clones.
Maybe they would think that.
Yeah. Like everyone's still talking about fans. They're very into meeting their people that they love. Let's see. Did you know that Harold Ramis was the first? You knew that?
I read that.
Harold Ramis was the first director attached to this project.
I think this could have been a very different film.
It would have been good. But do you know why he left the project?
Because he objected to the casting of Tim Allen and preferred Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Which I think would have been good to cast
Alec Baldwin would have been good. But he left because, oh gosh, I thought that dog was in our backyard, but it's just real. Not. Oh, that's a squirrel. Holy moly. Sorry.
Is that squirrel wearing jewelry of some kind or a collar?
I think the dog was chasing the squirrel.
Oh.
Sorry, we got way distracted by the wildlife in our backyard. Anyhow, Alec Baldwin would have been good, but he turned it down, and then they hired Tim Allen, the studio did, and Harold Ramis would have none of that, so he left.
Yeah, that's peculiar. I wonder what objection he had to Tim Allen.
Well, he did say once he saw the final film that he approved, and Tim Allen did a good job. Right. And now this director Parasite, I'm bad at pronouncing words. He's going to direct
Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah.
But did he direct one of the original Bill and Ted's also?
No. He directed a little film called Home Fries. And he directed a film called Fun with Dick and Jane.
Oh.
Not a lot.
Home Fries with Drew Barrymore?
Correct.
And Fun with Dick and Jane with Drew Carey.
And
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Drew Carey. And like Taya Leone, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No. Was it Taya Leone?
I don't know anything,
yes,
guys.
It was. But any of it, that's interesting.
Not a lot of movies.
Harold Ramis would have been a very different film. I'm a big Harold Ramis fan also, obviously.
Tiana says it's a new game, dog or squirrel. We're like the dog from Up, that we're very distracted by squirrels. Talking about Galaxy Quest, squirrel. Okay. Brian, he's making the new Bill and Ted, the third one that's coming up.
Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Yeah. Which does not look good to me. But that's just me. I'll see it anyway.
Just say the trailer did not impress you.
That's what I just said.
Right.
Okay, can you describe to me what geek culture is and why it's important to you?
I think you can be a geek of anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be of a television show or a movie. I think it would be fair to describe some sports fans as being geeks.
I'm a film geek. I mean, I like indie film and classic film, so I mean, I consider myself a film nerd.
It's just about being unapologetic about your enthusiasm for things that you love and enjoy and bring you solace. But it's become a global phenomenon. Well, sure, but I mean, people have always been fans of things. But I think geek culture and television shows
it's
and
where
movies
you devote.
And comics.
Geek culture is like you're devoting a portion of your life to this specific thing.
That's correct. Yes. But I think
what draws you to do that? What draws you to take the step from being just like, yeah, I like that movie, that's fine, to I'm going to make this a part of my life.
I think that it has to be material that's vast and rich.
Mm-hmm. So you can immerse yourself in the world.
There's an entire universe of the Wars in the Stars and characters and adventures.
So let me tell you, on Sunday night we did Father's Day a week early, and Thomas invited his friend who is in town, who's visiting. Well, yeah, he's visiting from out of town. Thomas invited his friend, and we had a little barbecue out here with my family, and then Thomas's friend from out of town. And
my friend Lang.
2 hours after the rest of us went inside, Thomas and Lang were still outside. Did you talk about anything outside of Star Wars?
Just Star Wars.
Just Star Wars. Yep.
That was it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So you drop yourself into that world.
I mean, that's the other part of fandom, is that it's not just about what's up on the screen or what you're reading. It's about the people that you enjoy it with.
Right. Yeah.
It's the experiences that you have together via fandom.
Yeah, like Angie and Sam have bonded over Harry Potter, among other things.
Right.
Angie, I can't tell you how many friends Angie has met through
I
Harry
would
Potter.
imagine.
People that she hasn't even met in real life before. Like, she
Sure.
just knows through the circuits.
Right.
The flu system. Is that right? Did I say that right?
I mean, people credit, let's say, Star Wars with being what they could talk about with a parent or a sibling, and it's the thing that gives them something in common.
Yeah.
Over the years as things change. But Star Wars, Ray, Star Wars never changes. That's from
I keep thinking that dog is in our yard. Elizabeth says this, which I think is great. She's talking about her D&D, which I know to mean Dungeons and Dragons group. She says they're very accepting, open to everyone. I like that. It's a community. It's like your tribe. They welcome you in and you become a part of that family. I remember the first time I went to a Cubs game in Chicago. I went by myself because I really am a nerd. And I got on the train. I got on the blue line, sorry. Where's the red line? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, in Shreveport, there's Cubs fans. There's Cubs fans everywhere, but you just here and there. I got on the train, and at every stop, as we got closer and closer to Wrigley Field, the doors would open, and people wearing Cubs clothes would get inside. And I just thought, like, my heart swelled, and I thought, these are my people. Like, I have found my people.
Right.
So yeah, I totally get that.
There is one other fandom that I've always been a part of that you just reminded me of, which is Apple.
Right.
And that's very much how it felt to work at an Apple store back in the day.
You're like, you people are all like me.
It was almost like working at Disneyland. People were so happy to be there with other people that had a Mac. Because at that time, it wasn't quite as common as it is today. So that's how it felt to be among people that had a common interest, that you had something instantly in common with. And, one final note on this topic would be, I think that it's always been, I think what we're finding is it's more socially acceptable. I'm not sure why at one time it wasn't quite as socially acceptable, but the fact remains that it's always been okay to be a, let's say, Cubs fan as a kid and continue to be a Cubs fan into adulthood. No one expects a sports fan to give up something that they fell in love with as a child just because they're no longer a child. Not to go off on too much of a soapbox there.
Right.
But it's always been okay, whether you're 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, to be a sports fan and to surround yourself with sports memorabilia and posters and items. But it hasn't always been so socially acceptable to have that same enthusiasm for comic books.
Yeah.
And now it is.
Right.
And that's nice. But you shouldn't have to give up something you love just because you were introduced to it as a child.
Brian says the Big Bang Theory made it okay to be a geek.
I guess.
Maybe. And Tiana wrote an article about fans and about this super fandom, and not just about major like movies or musicians, but smaller fandoms and like local bands and stuff like that. I'm fascinated by the concept of fandom because I'm surrounded by two. My work wife, Angie, and my soon-to-be real-life husband, Thomas. They're the biggest fans.
When's that happening?
Soon.
Oh,
I'll remind you.
We're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's because you can't return the dress.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay, who was your favorite character in Galaxy Quest? You at home and you, Thomas. I'm stuck to the chair.
My favorite character?
Yeah.
I loved Alan Rickman.
Yeah, I did too.
What he was feeling, I've often suspected a lot of these folks that go to the conventions feel. I feel like for the most part, most of them are happy to be there and they're glad to meet their fans, but it has to be grueling. Yeah. And there has to be a part of them that feels like this is not necessarily something for people.
This is not where I saw myself. This is for people
either on the way up or on the other side.
Do you agree with that?
I don't think it necessarily has to be. I think that I don't think it necessarily has to be, but I do think I couldn't help but think, you see certain stars, and there were a time that they were maybe the biggest star on the planet,
right?
And now you're watching them eat a chili dog at a folding table in a convention center,
right?
And that's fine.
But you saw this in the movie, too. The fans that are there love them so much.
Right.
They do not care if they're on their way up or on their way down or at their peak. They love them.
Right. But then, and I should have made sure that Greg Adams of GeekCon maybe knew it.
We'll send him the link.
He should watch this discussion. But I also had that feeling. I've seen Nichelle Nichols at a few different conventions. Do you know her?
No.
She is the lady from Star Trek.
There's
Nichelle
only one
Nichols.
lady from Star Trek?
Uhura.
Okay. I've seen 2 Star Trek films.
She is quite old. And she continues to go to conventions. And God bless her, she's healthy and she's able to be there and people love to see her. But I just can't help but think, you're almost 90 or you're in your 80s. And this has got to be hard on you. Stan Lee, I had the opportunity to see him a few times at conventions.
But he loved it, right?
He loved it, had so much energy. I was standing in line outside a convention in Dallas, outside of Dallas, and there were 2 lines going up these stairs. And all of a sudden, Stan Lee is standing there among the people. No one's talking to him. He is standing there ready to receive us, but everyone was too, I don't know if maybe we felt like we might knock him over. But
no, or it might be like my feelings about Beyonce. You don't want to,
he was just standing, here I am, Stan Lee, and everyone was just kind of minding their business.
Yeah, Joanne had another good point about actors getting pigeonholed. Like once they're really famous for a specific role, they can't ever really be seen as something else. I liked Alan Rickman. I loved the Tony Shalhoub character. Loved it.
Right.
He was playing it as a stoner. Since it was a PG film, they couldn't really, they had to kind of delete all the references to that, but he played it as if he was
stoned.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. I wondered what his deal was.
And he was always kind of munching on something. Right. I thought he was great. I loved everyone's panicking, and he's like, wow, that was cool.
That makes sense. I thought what they were trying to do was make a kind of a contrast to Scotty of Star Trek, because he's always excited. Captain, can't take much more of this.
He's like, Captain, I thought I'd let you know the engines are burning.
Right.
I love Justin Long. This was Justin Long's film debut.
Really?
Jeremy talked about, our friend Jeremy talked about.
Are you fine? Are you okay? What is happening right now? Are you tripping?
I got attacked by a very large bug. Did y'all see it?
No, you're the only one.
I swear. Right into my nostril.
Oh, goodness.
Justin Long. I liked him. He was quite funny. Sorry. I loved Guy. I saw lots of people say they loved Guy.
Yeah, I liked Justin Long's character also.
And I loved Sigourney Weaver. And I love her, Gwen. She said, I have one job and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, she was really good in this movie.
Yeah, she was great. Did you have favorite scenes or lines?
Portal came to see me for a moment. Yes. Sorry. I liked the one job. I liked, I really was moved by Alan Rickman delivering that line to the dying alien.
I saw you tear up a little bit.
I got a little misty. It's just a testament to, like Justin Long says, I'm aware that this is a TV show. It's not that you don't know that it's fiction. I'm not an
idiot.
Right, but it means something to you. It touches something inside of you, and it becomes a part of you.
And to have him recognize that, that was sweet. That was a sweet moment. And I think he realized it, too.
Right.
Alan Rickman.
Oh, yeah. At that moment, he realized what his work, he felt like, oh, I'm a Shakespearean trained actor and this is beneath me. And that's funny because that does kind of
Patrick Stewart.
But he never had that sort of attitude toward it, to my knowledge.
Tiana, I read that today as well about Corbin Bleu, the little boy pilot in the beginning. You don't know who Corbin Bleu is, but he went on to for great fame in High School Musical.
Corbin Bleu, the young version of the Navigator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the analog to Wesley Crusher on The Next Generation.
Sure.
No, it was.
Oh, no, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Watch a Star Trek every now and then.
Here's a question. At what point in the film we find ourselves looking at a shirtless Tim Allen?
Yeah.
When we got to that point of the movie,
fit.
I had to stop and ask myself and those in the room with me, who's the audience? for a shirtless Tim Allen.
In the 90s?
Who are they trying to reach? With
Anyone with a pair of eyes and a heart.
When he got all the way down to the bare chest, I thought, is this necessary? Who needs to see Tim Allen shirtless?
People did. People, I think that Tim Allen is a handsome man.
Am I missing something? Is there a legion of Tim Allen fans out there?
Also, as my friend Lang pointed out, that was kind of a nod to Captain Kirk finding a way to be shirtless in episodes of Star Trek.
Ken pointed out it is also Rainn Wilson's first film.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson.
Although most of his scenes were cut.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson was in there also.
I knew Vicky would be the one to say.
Oh, Vicky!
I knew, because who did Vicky like in the last film?
Someone's lips. I don't remember who it was, but she did enjoy them.
Who was it? What was our movie last time?
If you're watching at home,
what was our movie last time?
Who was the last person you really
Just tell
enjoyed?
me what our movie was, and I'll tell you who it was.
Beetlejuice.
Alec Baldwin. Michael Keaton. She loves Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
But I can get behind that.
Right.
I'm not so sure about Tim Allen.
Well, apparently you missed.
Yeah, Vicky says it goes back to Shatner. That's what Lang said, too. Because William Shatner found ways to bare his chest.
And I thought Tim Allen was really good in this movie.
Yes. I got it, Michael Keaton.
I think Tim Allen was really good in this movie, too.
If you were in this film, which one would you be?
Probably the Justin Long character.
Yeah. No, you would. That was easy for you. I would either be Alan Rickman.
Not me now, but maybe me in the 90s.
It was on to my turn, though. I would either be Alan Rickman, because I'm kind of always just kind of over everything. I'm just like, or Daryl Mitchell, who played Tommy Weber, the pilot, because he was really good at taking directions and he was diligent and he wanted to be good at his job. So I would be a combination between those two. He said, "Go practice."
When he took the ship out, and it was. They designed the controls by watching you. That would be neat.
Okay. Next segment.
Johnny 5 alive.
Okay, we're gonna do these quickly. Okay.
Okay.
Our top 5 movies for this week are movies set in space.
Okay.
The ground rules are, I gave Thomas one rule. You may only use one film per franchise, because if I didn't make that rule, all 5 of the films would be Star Wars films. So if he wanted,
you don't know that for sure.
But if he wanted to pick a Star Wars film, he can only pick one.
Okay.
I made some rules for myself. I decided not to do any documentaries, but there are some great space documentaries out there, like one that just came out this past year, Apollo 11. And this project highlighted to me how many space movies there are that I haven't seen.
I mean, but
I need
don't
to see
all
more.
movies take place in space?
Sure. It was hard for me to narrow it down to 5. I had a solid top 10 that I had to work really hard to get down to 5.
Approach to this that varies a bit from what you asked
Go.
me to do, because it is Thomas's
Thomas.
movie. No, this is my movie club, so I'm going to let
All right.
you go first. Because
No, but-
you're the guest here, I'm going to let you go first.
What
on
were your
Thomas's
rules that you
movie
gave
club.
yourself?
I mean, I did pick the top 5, but then I have like 9 honorable mention that I just want to say out loud.
All right, I'll give my honorable mention first.
No. Start with your number 5. And
No, you do honorable mentions first. Oh, no, I guess you don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm going to give my honorable mention first. Can I? Yeah,
What
but
does it say?
you made
Say
that.
that.
It's not real.
Right there, it says my name twice.
Okay.
Look at
thank
me
you.
right there.
We have to keep moving.
I know, but I would like to know your number 5.
I'm going to start with my honorable
of
mention.
my show, or
My
television show.
honorable mention is Hidden Figures, because it does not technically take place in outer space, but it is about the space program, and it is about the brilliance of 3 black women in NASA who made that John Glenn? Hold up.
Did you do your research? Into
Yeah,
this
I was right. John Glenn.
John Glenn.
Made the space launch of John Glenn possible. It's Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. So
Okay.
they get a shout out, even though it doesn't take place in the space.
These are my honorable mentions.
Well, if it's going to spoil your list, don't do them yet. Like, I don't want you to give your honorable mentions if it.
Okay, I'll wait. All right.
Okay, so you want me to do my number 5 first, or your number 5 first?
How about you do
I'll
your
go
5
mine
and
first.
then I'll do my
No,
5.
we're
gonna alternate.
My number 5. It's a good one. Space Camp from 1986, starring, listen to this cast: Kate Capshaw, Leah Thompson, Kelly Preston, Larry B. Scott, Joaquin Phoenix, even though at that point in time he was going by the name Leaf Phoenix, Tate Donovan, and Tom Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this film was released 5 months after the Challenger explosion.
Oh, no.
That is a bad time to put out a movie about a crisis happening in space.
Why wouldn't they just postpone that?
That's a good question. It was a box office flop. Let me tell you about the plot. So these kids go to space camp, right? And as part of their space camp, they get to go onto the actual shuttle to see what it's like to be on a shuttle.
And what happens next?
Meanwhile, there's a robot, and Max, who's played by Joaquin / Leaf Phoenix, Max told the robot...
Befriends him.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
He said, I wish I was in space. So the robot messes with the computer and launches them into space. So these kids
are in space.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in space.
There's not enough oxygen.
They don't know how to fly that ship.
Because the shuttle's not ready to be launched. And so,
it's not safe.
Yeah, so much has to happen in order to get them back to Earth. And as a kid, I loved this movie. I almost don't want to rewatch it because I'm afraid it's not good. But I'm going to just remember how much I loved it. Okay, good. Other people love Space Camp with me. Space Camp. Love it.
One time at Space Camp?
Oh, by the way, Disney just announced in January they're making a remake.
I bet it's for Disney Plus.
It is, actually.
They're looking for some.
It is, actually.
Gotta get that content.
But I'm going to watch it.
Get that content.
Okay, I'm glad you are all on board with me with Space Camp. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Planet of the Apes original recipe. Charlton Heston. Get your hands off me, you damn dirty apes. From my cold dead hand. Oh, that wasn't from that movie. That was from his personal life. No, I enjoyed Planet of the Apes very much. The original. That's my number 5.
Okay, there's whole thing happening here that it's hard to keep up with.
Charlton Heston actually cameoed in Tim Burton's remake of Planet of the Apes as an ape.
It's true. I knew that.
Circle of Life.
Okay, my number 4, 1956, a movie called Forbidden Planet, starring our good friend from Naked Gun, Leslie Nielsen. Except he's not funny. I mean, he is funny, but not intentionally.
Forbidden Planet.
Yes, he's a dramatic role. This is a pioneering sci-fi film from the 50s. It also features a guy named Earl Holliman.
And
guess where Earl Holliman is from?
Shreveport. Yeah, Earl.
He was an usher at the Strand Theater. He was a delivery boy for the Shreveport Times, and then he went on to Los Angeles and became an actor in many films and TV shows.
Didn't they remake Forbidden Planet?
He's still alive out there in Studio City.
What?
We should go visit him.
We should go visit him or ask him to come visit home.
It's a loose adaptation of The Tempest, Shakespeare. You familiar with him?
The heck you say?
Yeah, but it's set in space.
But it's in space. How can it be?
And there's this great robot called Robbie. So anyway, Forbidden Planet, love it, see it, watch it. It's great.
Like, didn't they make a remake or something of that?
Good, yay. Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking of Treasure Planet.
Okay, good.
Disney film.
I just checked back in and everyone's still
excited.
All right,
that was your number 4?
Your number 4.
My number 4 is Alien.
That's my number 3. So we can talk about it together. Go.
Sigourney Weaver, who also appeared in this film that we watched this week. Alien. It's a great movie. Sci-fi horror. They're on a ship. There's a creature on the ship that they don't care for so much.
It's terrifying.
It is a scary
It is so
film.
scary.
But I feel like
first of all, when the thing happens on the face, when they're
it's a face hugger. That's what they call that.
No,
it's very much. I mean, it's kind of like wearing a mask.
Today. But then he goes the face hugger. He scurries away.
Right.
And we think, good, he's gone.
The xenomorph is what it's called. It's not a fan of the social distancing.
But then guess what? It's not over once that.
No, it's not. You think it's over and you're fine, but you're not. You're not. There's more stuff happening.
I don't know that I want to watch that movie again.
Right.
It is really. But Ripley.
I used to feel that way after going to Poncho's. I thought, oh, that was delicious. I'm done eating and dinner's over and I'm going to go home and I'm fine. Yeah, I ate too much, but then later.
So I love Sigourney Weaver in it.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
I would call her the hero, but the only person she saves is herself.
Well, she's a survivor.
She's a survivor. And I definitely love her.
Well,
I question why she was in the teeny tiny underwear at the end of the movie.
Because they're comfortable. If you're fighting an alien, do you want to be comfortable and limber?
I don't know that they were comfortable. They didn't fit. They were not very much coverage.
They were light, and they kept her light on her feet.
Anyway, that's my only question about the film. But I love Sigourney Weaver, and I hope I never find myself in a situation like that. But
also,
I would channel her.
I wanted to mention its sequel, Aliens.
Sure.
It's kind of a 4A, and we need to watch that because you hadn't watched Alien until we watched it together.
I know.
Yeah.
And there's good reason I was very scared.
Right. But Aliens, the sequel by James Cameron, is more of an action film as opposed to the horror movie that is Alien. It's more of an action film.
Right. I lost track. Am I supposed to go next with my number 2?
Number 3.
I did number 3. It's Alien. Oh, so you do your number 3. Go. We did that together because my 3 was your 4.
My number 3 is Spaceballs.
I knew it would be on here. Someone else already said Spaceballs.
Spaceballs!
Wait, who are you rolling your eyes at, Tiana? Me? Me?
Who's eye rolling?
Tiana.
Tiana.
I don't know. Maybe she'll explain herself. It's the underwear. She's eye rolling at the underwear like I did.
Yeah.
She says, and all the times that I fought aliens,
if I were fighting an alien, I would be in my underwear just to distract that alien, because that alien would go, "Oh, you looking good in your underwear, Thomas." I'd be like, "Yep."
You would say.
And then I would roundhouse kick.
Okay, tell us about Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is a parody of Star Wars by Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks had an agreement with George Lucas that George Lucas would not sue or object to the making of the film.
Did he pay him money?
As long as he did not produce any Spaceballs merchandise. That is 100% true. That is why there is no Spaceballs merchandise.
Okay.
Even to this day. I think there's a limited amount of merchandise. They even make a joke about it in the movie, about the merch. Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
The big helmet.
Yeah, dark helmet.
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny. I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. My number 2 is a film called
Star Wars.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That's my number 2.
Yeah.
It is, okay, I'm going to end all of these with a question mark. It is the rare sequel that transcends the original? Question mark?
I think that it is as strong as the original in a different way. It's like trying to pick a child. I can't do it. They're both beautiful and special in their own ways.
It is the greatest plot twist of all time?
Probably. Yeah. Because it wasn't projected out the wazoo, J.J. Abrams.
Oh, because you predicted that Rey was going to be a Palpatine?
That's a whole... That's not... We could do a whole show on the sequel
Yes, we
trilogy.
can. I have Flight of the Navigator. Yes, I watched Flight of the Navigator with my nephew this weekend, and we loved it. Why didn't I put that on my list? It's not number 1.
Why are you angry at me?
Well, I'm angry at myself. I'm angry at myself because I love Flight of the Navigator. But I love Space Camp more, and that's along the same genre. Anyway, I have unwavering, undying support for R2-D2 and Chewbacca. They are my favorite of all time Star Wars characters. Also, Han Solo is dreamy, so I like that.
Yeah, he is.
And I just believe Star Wars as a franchise has become part of our pop culture landscape. I'm nowhere near the fan that you are. I'll never will be. But everyone knows about Star Wars. Even if you've never seen it, you know the Star Wars language. Yeah. Okay, that was my number 2.
I approve.
Move on.
My number 2.
Christina's mad that I said that about Rey because it's a spoiler. I'm so sorry.
What?
I hope you've seen it. Okay.
No, we can't be. That movie has been out, and the world has been on lockdown.
Christina's seen it. I think.
What have you been doing? Watch
She's
Rise
seen
of
it.
Skywalker.
Okay, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Star Trek II:
The Wrath of Khan. Are you impressed that I do that?
I made you watch it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Tell us why you like it.
This is widely considered to be the best Star Trek film.
Fine.
Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 form a trilogy of films. This is the first. I just enjoy it very much.
We didn't spoil it for Christina. That's good. She's seen it several times.
It's kind of a darker, kind of dirty, lived-in Star Trek. I just enjoy it very much. It gave us that classic scene of Khan. Remember he yells Khan?
Yeah. Just like that.
Khan.
Just the way you
You
did
have to
it.
come down here, Khan, and do it yourself.
Okay.
Khan. And he screams, Khan.
Can I
Have
give
you
my
ever
number?
seen a
Can I
meme?
give my number one now?
But also a sub point to this. I know I gave J.J. Abrams a little side eye a moment ago. For the record, I enjoyed the sequel trilogy. I have some issues.
He enjoys all the
but
Star Wars films.
We could have another podcast. But J.J. Abrams made a very good Star Trek movie in 2009. It manages to be both a sequel, a prequel, and a reboot. And it's a darn tootin' good time, and I enjoy that film.
Is
very
that
much.
the one that some people say Galaxy Quest is a better Star Trek film than that film?
Well, I mean, Trek fans, they're divided in much the same way Star Wars is divided.
Yeah.
In some ways, Star Trek is divided between people that like what J.J. Abrams did, and he's kind of done that twice. He's done it twice.
My number one. Ready?
Yes.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, how cerebral of you.
I'm a cerebral kind of gal.
So cultured.
From 1968, directed by Stanley
So
Kubrick.
much classical music and slow motion.
Yeah. Cool,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Co-authored by Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke.
I think I stayed awake through that once. Maybe.
The opening
I think it
sequence
took
with
like
the
a week.
famous monolith
Yeah.
and the apes
And
the tools
And how.
and Hal. Hal is the stuff of nightmares. You love Hal because of the whole Apple connection.
That's so funny that you know that. How do you even know that? Did
I know.
tell you
I'm
about
so
that?
smart.
Yeah, in 1999,
Yeah, no, I
Apple
knew
did
about
a
it.
Super Bowl commercial with Hal. No, it's a great film. I'm
There's
just
also
kidding. It's just very
reference-
slow.
Brian thinks it's boring, so
Yes.
that's fine.
Kind of like Blade Runner.
There's reference to an epidemic in the film.
Oh.
And the end is just a surreal, trippy, beautiful, head scratching, what the heck is it sequence.
Sure.
It's awesome. Also, this is interesting. The film was the second highest grossing film of 1968. Can you imagine a film like that being the second highest grossing film of the year now?
Well, I think it was.
It's not a Marvel movie,
It was
so.
revolutionary. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was push the envelope forward.
So that's my number one. Let's hear yours.
My number one is Star Wars.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. That's the one you went with.
Yes.
Good.
It is emblematic
Of all of the everything.
the saga.
Okay.
It's the film that gave us Star Wars. It's beautiful. It's George Lucas. Check it out, and then watch all the other ones, including Empire Strikes Back. Also magnificent, of course.
Good.
Widely
Do you want to
considered
throw out
be
your
the
honorable
best
mentions?
sequel of all time.
Yeah, I know. I said it already.
Godfather 2 also.
Yeah, and I mean,
Okay.
there's Teen Wolf 2. That's pretty good.
Teen Wolf 2 is
When Jason Bateman comes in for
and he's boxes.
Yeah.
You know, in the first one they played basketball,
Right.
they were like, here's what we'll do this time.
Yeah.
Box. And they were
So
like,
we
yeah,
have
let's
Empire
do that.
Strikes Back, Godfather 2, and Teen
And
Wolf
Michael
2.
J. Fox was like, nah. And they were like, well, who else can we get? But
Jason
Jason
Bateman.
Bateman's available.
So just throw your honorable mentions out, because these people
Okay.
got to go to bed.
There's a few other films that came to mind as I was thinking about my favorite films in space.
Hurry.
Interstellar.
Good one.
Gravity.
Not a fan, but okay.
You're not a fan of Gravity?
I love Alfonso Cuarón. He is maybe my favorite director. I didn't love
Sunshine.
Gravity.
If you haven't seen Sunshine, it's a underrated, overlooked film. Armageddon. I know it's Michael Bay and I know it's cheesy, but I mean,
I hate that one too.
it's a
Also,
lot of
it
fun.
makes me cry, even though I don't like it.
Is it
and
because you don't want to miss a thing?
Yeah.
You don't want to close your eyes
it's true,
because you'll miss something.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
and you know how I feel about Liv Tyler.
Oh, I'm a fan of Liv Tyler. So pouty and mysterious. Apollo 13,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Guardians of the Galaxy,
It's a good one. I thought you'd have Marvel on there somewhere. I'm surprised you didn't.
Space Jam,
Sure.
Predator,
Yeah.
and now that I'm thinking about it, Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw that on there.
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, there's a lot of space.
Someone also put out The Martian. The Martian was good. Yeah. Lots of good.
He grew all those potatoes in his own poop.
Yeah. That's how I do it.
Where? Not in my house.
Okay, we're going to move on.
Your poop potatoes to yourself.
Next.
Oh, my drink now. Fight Club.
That was lackluster. Okay, guys. I prepared. We put a poll out for who you wanted to see pitted against each other for Fight Club. I was prepared for something that didn't win. So all my preparations out the window.
How many people voted?
Not that many.
What's the winner?
The winner is Gwen versus Ripley.
What?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
I'm not prepared.
Well, I'm not either, but we're going to have to wing it. First of all, I just want to say, how can Ripley not win this, though?
Yeah.
Like, how can... No one's going to beat Ripley. We know that. However, that being said, Gwen is a tough cookie. She was not given a lot of opportunity. She grabbed what opportunity she had and made the best of it. Also, she made it through the gauntlet.
That's true.
And she looked good the whole time.
Sigourney Weaver, Ripley was a hardened space.
Yeah, I mean, there's no
member.
contest.
She was a person of authority and conviction.
Gwen is tough, like Brian says.
She's tough. But
Ripley,
is she Ripley tough?
She's not. I mean,
I'm gonna go with no. Ripley's gonna light her on fire.
Yeah.
There's no chance that he's not.
I know.
She's not gonna light her on fire and push her out an airlock.
That's what I was gonna say. Is kick her out into space.
Or she's gonna hop in that hydraulic.
Or if all else fails, she'll distract her by being in her skimpy underwear.
She'll be in her skimpy underwear, and she'll be like, "Oh, that's way more suggestive than my outfit."
Well, Gwen's outfit is a little suggestive as well.
It's a little suggestive, certainly. But Ripley's gonna hop in that hydraulic machine. She hops in Aliens, and she's gonna pinch her. Just pinch her right out.
Does anyone think that Ripley is not winning?
Ripley's winning.
No, Ripley's winning. Yeah. Okay. All agreed. Okay. Moving on. We're almost done. We're on the home stretch. What's this one called?
I never have a whistle for the trivia timeout.
This is not my fault.
Trivia timeout. Blew the timeout.
All right. So for trivia today, you are going to guess which Galaxy Quest actor starred in the following films. Okay. Do you want to do it or you want me to?
You do it because you're the guest.
I'm the guest. Okay. All right. Everyone understand the rules? All you have to do is name the actor that starred in these films. I'm going to start out harder and get easier. All right. This actor or actress, we're just going with actor because that's supposed to be unisex, was in The Green Mile. You remember The Green Mile? Do you remember The Green Mile?
Yeah, it was like get busy living and get busy dying.
No, that's The Shawshank Redemption.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I think
Green Mile's a different film.
Oh, Green Mile's, I'm just so sick and tired of people being not nice.
Okay, forget it. You're no good at this game.
Okay,
The Way Back, shown at the Robinson Film Center. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, also shown at the Robinson Film Center. Vicky, Tom Hanks is in Green Mile, yes, but he's not in Galaxy Quest. Susan got it right. Sam Rockwell, very good. I was going to round that out with Vice and Jojo Rabbit.
Kim, you know it's not Shrek. It's
getting dark outside. We're here later than normal and it's getting dark. Okay, number 2. A film called Jeepers Creepers. Do you remember Jeepers Creepers?
Jeepers Creepers. Crossroads.
Wait.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
You gotta go a little slower. Goodness.
Go in the Distance.
You're not allowed to
Tusk.
anymore.
Jeepers Creepers, Crossroads, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Going the Distance, and Tusk.
You have to put a little separation between them. Do you understand?
You're getting concerned because of the
yeah,
amount
but you don't
light.
understand how the delay works, and you got to give them time to answer. Now we're just sitting here waiting for them.
Okay, Jeepers Creepers. This person was in Jeepers. It is Justin Long.
Yay, Tiana!
Yay, Tiana!
Justin Long, love him. I like him a lot. He's got a podcast called Going Long with Justin Long, or the short of it with, what's it called? Jeremy knows.
Long and the short of it?
I don't know. Okay, next up. Copycat. Remember Copycat? It's very scary. You would be scared to death because you're a scaredy cat. Copycat.
Village.
You don't do this part. I'm doing this part. Copycat. The Village. Remember M. Night Shyamalan? Life is Short with Justin Long. Thanks, Jeremy.
Working Girl.
Working Girl. It's a good film. Love it. It was a Heels and Reels
I
film.
love the song from that. Working 9 to 5. Gonna make a living.
You're getting on my nerves tonight.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Is it because it's? Is it
Yeah.
this?
Okay, next, Ghostbusters. She is in Ghostbusters. And Alien. See, I went too fast. Because they should have already known it by now.
Alien, Ghostbusters, Working Girl, The Village, Copycat.
Sigourney.
Do you know any other Sigourneys in life?
No, just the only one.
What is the
Vicky
origin?
wins that one. Good job, Vicky. You redeemed yourself from the Tom Hanks mishap.
The origin of that name is Sigourney.
We'll ask her next time we see her. All right.
Has she ever done any work in Shreveport?
Not that I know of.
Nope.
But I'm going to call her up.
I wonder if hadn't Sam Rockwell done work here?
Probably. Okay, number 4. Jungle to Jungle. Have you seen Jungle to Jungle? I haven't.
No.
Joe Somebody. Not a Joe Nobody. A Joe Somebody.
The who?
Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah.
It's written by John Grisham. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
The book is written by John Grisham. Did you write the screenplay?
I believe
too?
so.
It's
Yeah.
so not good.
Tim Allen, correct. Brian Smith. He's also in the Santa Claus and Toy Story. Hold up. Christina Hall says that Sigourney Weaver's real name is Susan Weaver. Is that a joke or is that real? Susan Weaver. Do you share a name with Sigourney Weaver? It's a hard name to say. I can't say it.
Sigourney. It couldn't
Okay,
be
Brian
Sigourney.
is the winner with that one with Tim
Hey,
Allen.
Someone making notes.
Well, we have discontinued our prize.
No
packages.
prizes. We're out of prizes.
And we
'cause of the
discontinued that
quarantine.
several weeks ago.
Because we're not able to go to the store and
Because
buy prizes.
I got poor and I have a wedding to make happen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, number 5. Guess what? There's 6 because I couldn't narrow it down.
Okay.
But number 5, Addams Family Values. Haven't seen it. Have you?
Adam's, I don't know. Adam's family?
Have you seen the Addams
Like your
Family
friend
Values?
Adam, his family?
No.
Their values?
Men in Black. I have
yeah.
seen Men in Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Men in Black.
Wings. Do you remember Wings?
Yeah, but that's
TV
not
show?
a movie.
No, but this
Television.
person is in Wings.
Yeah, Wings.
Susan Weaver. It is real.
I used to watch
Good to
Wings in between classes on USA.
Tiana's very upset about the prizes. Why did you have to bring that up? Spy Kids. Last but not least, the television show Monk.
Also,
I saw Tony Shalhoub. I suck at this tonight. I just said his name. It's Tony Shalhoub.
see what happens when it's not named for you? You accidentally give away the answer. See, now you know my pain.
Anyway, I saw him on Broadway.
Just walk a mile in another
And he was
person's
fantastic.
shoes and you'll understand.
in the band's visit.
Isn't that funny? It's Thomas's movie club,
Tony
and you're
Shalhoub.
the one giving the.
Luckily, I have a spare. I had 6. Okay. Okay, last but not least, the television film from 1978, Romeo and Juliet. You catch that? You see that one?
Yes.
Bob Roberts. Here's a good one. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Prince of Thieves.
One of your and my favorite films. Die Hard. It's a gimme now. Everyone knows it now.
Come out to the cast, we'll have some fun.
The Harry Potter franchise. And another classic, Love Actually. Alan Rickman, again, Brian Smith with the win. Brian Smith won 2 tonight. Very good,
I think
Brian.
Angie Kaysen is set the expectation of popcorn for our winners. I've noticed
Oh, she
in the
sees it in
comments.
there? Oh,
Yes.
Angie's on top of things.
Yeah, she's got it.
Angie's got it.
Yeah.
All right, so now we are coming to a close because I cannot read our paper anymore. It's very dark outside now, but we do have some lovely ambiance
I think it's been our best one of all of them.
Because it was yours.
It's been the best one of all the Thomas's movie clubs that we've done. I think the best Thomas movie club of all the ones that we've.
Well, next week is our season finale.
Next week,
and I have a very special film planned.
What is it?
Let's see. Clue number 1.
Oh, it's a game. We're not just going to tell them. It's a game.
This is how we do
We're doing another game.
Clue number 1.
Oh,
God. This is an indie film that became the sleeper hit of the summer. Anyone want to take a stab at it? Go ahead and just guess.
Crystal Skull.
An indie film that became the sleeper hit of the summer.
Temple of Doom.
Crystal Skull is not an indie film. And
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh. These are all indie films.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Is it Last Crusade? It's Last Crusade.
I'm glad we only have one more of these.
Y'all always show that on Father's Day.
We have once or twice shown it for Father's Day.
It's a great one. Which indie film? The new one that's not made yet?
No. I'm moving on to the next clue. It's from 2002. This is an independent feature from 2002 that became a sleeper hit in the summer of 2002. Heather's is a good guess. It's incorrect.
It
has a special theme.
Clue number 3.
Golly, you gotta give them time to guess.
You just put your hand on my mouth.
I know, because
in the time of Corona.
Okay. Let's see. It features arguably the best use of a butt cake on film. And we have a winner from Joanne. Next week, we're watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
We'll tell them the other things.
It stars Nia Vardalos and John Corbett. The plot centers around a wedding.
Opa!
So, guess what, guys? Next week, for our season finale, it will be Thursday, June 25th. Does that date mean anything to you?
It's a month from your wedding.
Yes. It is a month from our wedding.
From your wedding.
So we're going to close out this series with a wedding film.
Yeah.
You don't sound that exciting.
No, I love this film. It's
a
good one. The sequel wasn't so good, but the original. Really
so we're going to watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I think it's available on Hulu, but I'm not 100% sure. If not, it's available for rent on iTunes or Amazon.
It's also a short-lived television show. They did
Yeah. Sure, we can talk about all that next week. But celebrate our season finale, our upcoming wedding, and a really funny and fun film next week.
Bring the Windex.
We'll be back at our regular time for our last show, 6:30, right here. We'll see you. Don't count those chickens yet. Brian's not so sure.
What? Who is this Brian?
Who do you think's gonna call it off? Which one of us? Yeah.
Why would we call this off? We have so much fun together.
Put some Windex on it. Okay. See y'all next week. Watch and enjoy My Big Fat Greek Wedding during the week, and then join us here next week.